What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. It's the biggest event of the year for WWE fans and superstars as WWE presents Wrestlemania 41. However, are we going to see any new champions at the show? Join us now as we look at all the winners and losers of WWE Wrestlemania 41. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now, of course, we're going to split up from night 1 to night 2, so let's obviously start off with night 1 with the WWE Women's Championship match as champion Tiffany Stratton takes on Charlotte Flair. Now, the biggest questions going into this match is whether Charlotte Flair needs another world title and whether WWE sees Tiffany Stratton as a legitimate main eventer or another one of its failed projects. For whatever reason, WWE feels the need to fast-track Charlotte into surpassing her famous father's record of 16 world championships, or at least by WWE's count. It's a classic case of the promotion shoving a wrestler down the fans' collective throats, as if a lengthy title reign like Roman Reigns or multiple title reigns like Charlotte Flair translates to instant respect. Now, unlike Roman, the WWE Universe has yet to warm up to Flair either as a babyface or a heel, but sadly that hasn't stopped WWE's incessant push for her. Now, this is Charlotte Flair, a wrestler who's been involved in a championship match for every single one of her WrestleMania appearances, so you know she's gonna win. Now, the only question is whether she sandbags Tiffany Stratton during the match, much as she's done during the build, and makes her look weak. Which does bring us to our other question of what's next for Tiffany Stratton. WWE has taken one of its most organically driven superstars and turned her into a secondary character, whether it was during a time waiting to cash in a Money in the Bank briefcase or a current reign. Short of WWE having Tiffany chase Flair for the title and winning it back, things could go south quickly for Stratton, and it may be an abrupt end to Tiffy time. But our prediction, Charlotte Flair wins the WWE Women's Championship. Next up is Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Now, is Jade Cargill ready to step into WWE's deep water and work a singles match? Now, this is something that she did very recently against Liv Morgan on Friday Night SmackDown. However, when you look at her overall record, she's only had a handful of singles matches, unfortunately due to the fact that she's not very well trained in the ring. However, WWE officials have been prepping Cargill for over a year now by teaming her with Bianca Belair, one of WWE's best workers, and she should have an easy go with things as Naomi is also an extremely talented wrestler. Now, the build to this match has been pretty decent. Whilst it did seem that WWE did drop the ball with the storyline of who attacked Jade Cargill, things went from 0 to 100 when Cargill returned at the Elimination Chamber event and took out the real attacker, that being Naomi. Since then, Naomi has shown that she can be an incredible heel, but this is Cargill's first big test as a single superstar in WWE, but the promotion is grading her on a curve thanks to Naomi's presence. I definitely look for veteran Naomi to carry this match through, and for Naomi to put over Jade like a star. But where does this lead on from here? Will Bianca get involved somewhere down the road, revealing that she knew about the attack all this time, leading to the much anticipated feud between Jade Cargill and a heel Bianca Belair? Whatever the case, we see Jade Cargill winning the match. And also, a fun fact, Jade Cargill vs Naomi is the first non-stipulation, non-title singles women match in WrestleMania history. That's pretty insane to think about. Next up, the World Tag Team Championship match, as a champion the War Raiders take on the New Day of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Eric and Ivar's second reign as tag champs, like most WWE champions, have been surprisingly uneventful, which hasn't given the Raiders time to remind fans all they can do. Sadly, Raw's tag division pales to SmackDown's robust tag division, and it's disappointing to know the War Raiders' 4-month reign is ending without any fanfare, as look for the New Day to cheat their way to the titles. As our prediction, the New Day win the World Tag Team Championship. Now, hopefully Kofi and Xavier's title win will give them more time in the spotlight, as WWE has wasted too much time cashing in on the heat from their heel turn. Next up, the United States Championship match as champion LA Knight takes on Jacob Fatu. While the WWE Universe still adores LA Knight, fans have to question WWE's policy of making him its resident transitional champion. LA Knight's second reign is just over a month old, and unless WWE is planning to swerve the fans by having Solo Sikoa cost Jacob Fatu his chance at winning his first WWE singles title, this will be a squash, and it's difficult to envision Knight posing a challenge to the Samoan Werewolf. With WWE continuing its policy of slow storytelling, don't expect tension between Solo and Jacob to explode at WrestleMania. Instead, Fatu will crush Knight and continue breaking away from Solo Sikoa for good. Yeah, that "I hate you" Solo line is gonna hit hard. But our final prediction, Jacob Fatu wins the US Championship. Next up is Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. Now El Grande Americano has quickly become one of WWE's hottest acts, a testament how to blend an excellent worker with a captivating storyline, as both El Grande's rivalry with Rey and the mystery of who is really under the mask, to create an instant star. Now while we won't go into the uninformed speculation about it being Chad Gable, we look forward to seeing how the LWO's leader does against his young upstart. Look for El Grande Americano to pull a fast one, winning the match and preserving his identity. Whether Chad Gable, who seems obsessed with Rey and WWE's other luchadors, shows up to help remains to be seen, but our final prediction, El Grande Americano defeats Rey Mysterio. Next up, the World Heavyweight Championship match as champion Gunther takes on Jey Uso. A Jey Uso vs Gunther is the type of match that seemed like a good fit for Saturday night's main event. An afterthought match to prove Uso is a contender but not a champion and try to further Gunther's build. However, WWE swerved fans by having main event Jey win the Royal Rumble and then challenge Gunther. But the decision, while controversial, was a good example of a promotion betting big on a wrestler's immense popularity and thinking outside the box. Regardless of how you feel about Jey getting the match, you must respect WWE's willingness to gamble on Jey as it's the biggest show of the year. Jey's match against Roman Reigns proved his singles skills, and he's only improved since jumping to Raw in 2023. Having Jey lose seems impossible, as he'll look like a grade A champ after all he's had to endure at Gunther's hands, even the beatdown of his own brother Jimmy Uso. Now, if Vince McMahon was still booking WWE, we could see that happening. However, there's no way that Jey will lose, and while WWE will have to work hard to get Gunther back on track, Jey is walking out as World Heavyweight Champion. Our final prediction, Jey Uso wins the World Heavyweight Championship. And finally, it's time for the main event of Night 1, the triple threat match between Roman Reigns, CM Punk with Paul Heyman, and Seth Rollins. Now, after many years, CM Punk finally gets his main event match at WrestleMania, and the WWE Universe gets one of the most convoluted setups for a match in years. The decision to book a triple threat match suggests how WWE's booking has been on the downward spiral over the last 6 months. While Reigns vs Punk vs Rollins will be a banger, WWE is leaving far too much money on the table by booking all three superstars in a match rather than capitalizing on an individual rivalry between CM Punk and Rollins, as well as Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. But as good as the match should be, it's disappointing that WWE's impatience forced this triple threat. The subplot of CM Punk cashing in his favor and asking Paul Heyman to be in his corner is interesting, and will likely influence the match's outcome, as Heyman sides with Punk, betraying Roman Reigns by helping Punk get the win, leading to Roman taking his usual sabbatical and WWE focusing on Punk vs Rollins. But our final prediction, CM Punk wins the match. Now let's move on to Night 2, as our first match is a triple threat for the Women's World Championship match, as champion Io Sky takes on Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Io Sky seems to have it all: amazing in-ring abilities, fan support, and a willingness to improve regardless of how good she already is. But the only thing she's lacking is WWE support, as her current reign as Women's Champion has her playing second banana to Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. Now, this isn't the first time a champion has been relegated to a supporting role to put other wrestlers over, which has led to fans wondering if WWE has any idea what a pearl of precious price they have with Io Sky. Both Ripley and Belair are now entrenched at the very top of the women's division, so a world title win for one seems likely. Nonetheless, we're hopeful that WWE is using this storyline to elevate Sky by having her emerge victorious and leave Ripley and Belair regret treating her as an afterthought. Our final prediction, Io Sky retains the Women's World Championship. Next up, AJ Styles vs Logan Paul. Now, does every WrestleMania match need a gripping storyline, or can WWE get by with booking what is guaranteed to be a banger by throwing two of its stud workhorses into a match? But that's the question here, as AJ Styles vs Logan Paul should feature several WrestleMania moments destined for future highlight reels, but the build itself has been trash. Now, this type of situation has happened at past WrestleManias, but the number of matches this year with little or no build is disturbing, and is a sign that WWE may be getting too comfortable with its success. But as for this match, look for Logan Paul to use his usual bag of heel tricks to get the win, leading to AJ Styles questioning his decision to turn babyface and enter a program with Karrion Kross. But our final prediction, Logan Paul defeats AJ Styles. Next up is the Women's Tag Team Championship match, as the champions the Judgment Day of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez take on Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. The Judgment Day's female Fury should have their hands full, as they're facing a Women's Grand Slam winner and a current Women's Intercontinental Champion. To its credit, WWE have put some effort into Morgan and Rodriguez's run as Women's Tag Team Champions, Although WWE has yet to build up a rivalry with any of its few established female tag teams, but in this case, don't expect Bayley and Lyra to become the champions' rivals, as this match is all about building a Bayley vs Lyra Valkyria feud. The only question is who turns heel, Bayley or Lyra after they lose. But our final prediction, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez retain the Women's Tag Team Championship. Next up is a fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship, as champion Bron Breakker takes on Penta El-Zero, Finn Bálor, and Dominik Mysterio. Now, this match is an example of how a quest to win a title is all that's needed to build up a match. Here all three challengers have been hunting Breakker for the Intercontinental Championship, and it's plain to see that any of them have a chance to walk away since Bron Breakker doesn't need to be pinned or submitted. All four wrestlers can go, and while fatal 4-way matches can get messy, we believe that all four superstars are talented enough to keep this from devolving into a train wreck. A look for the Judgment Day's Dominik Mysterio and Finn Bálor to initially cooperate, only to turn on each other when it's time for one of them to try for the win. But Penta El-Zero will then capitalize, getting the win without Bron Breakker counting the lights. As our final prediction, Penta El-Zero wins the Intercontinental Championship. Now, this match will do two things: give Breakker a chance to move on from the IC title picture without eating a pinfall, and continue Penta's push as a huge single superstar. Next up is a Sin City street fight of Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Now, incredibly, this is one Wrestlemania match that has been built up well, as Drew's motivation for this match dates a year back, giving the always angry McIntyre plenty of time to stew over the latest grudge. While one might argue that both superstars deserve a title match, the WWE's main event roster is so crowded that it's impossible for all but a few talents to stay entrenched in the title picture. Here, Drew and Damian can work a wild brawl, entertaining fans with an action-packed match that incorporates their power-based offense and willingness to put their bodies on the line. But look for Drew to edge out a win after a hellacious fight that makes both wrestlers look strong. As our final prediction, Drew McIntyre defeats Damian Priest. But although this match is a year in the making, an excellent follow-up to Priest cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase successfully against Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 40, there's no reason to continue the program, as both superstars, especially Drew, need to move on to bigger things. In fact, there's an argument to be made that Drew shouldn't have been in this match in the first place, right? And finally, it's time for the main event of Night 2, the undisputed WWE Championship match, as champion Cody Rhodes takes on John Cena. And John Cena vs Cody Rhodes is a true dream match that nearly got derailed by WWE's decision to incorporate The Rock into it, then have him pull a vanishing act that's left fans wondering why Cena turned heel and joined forces with the final boss. But despite this major flaw, Cena and Rhodes have used their promo skills to not only keep this thing afloat, but elevate it to a must-see match. The storyline has Cena selling out, this once-in-a-lifetime meeting, regardless of how many times Cody faced Cena during his first WWE run, and John's opportunity to become a 17-time world champion makes this match worthy of being WrestleMania's headline match. Now, while it will be interesting to see how much Cody can elevate this match, fans are more interested in whether John can break the record he shares with Ric Flair, being a 16-time world champion. While we're confident that Cena will win a 17th world title before he retires, it won't be at WrestleMania 41. Now, WWE has made it clear that Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre are Cody's next challengers for the Undisputed Championship, based on past interviews by each superstar. Booking the American Nightmare to win will strengthen Cody's position as a fighting champion, cast doubt on Cena's quest for a 17th title, and push each superstar into the next program. Look for Cody to retain here, despite The Rock's best efforts to help Cena, and for things to move on from there, with Cody addressing a new threat after fighting off Cena's challenge. But our final prediction, Cody Rhodes retains the undisputed WWE Championship. And just remember that while Cena will not win this match, that doesn't mean that he's not getting number 17. I mean, do you really think that WWE is going to close out John Cena's WWE career as a heel without a championship? No, Cena is going to turn babyface at some point, probably even after WrestleMania, then go after the championship one more time. It's possible then at SummerSlam that's when he wins number 17. But what do you guys think? Let me know your predictions in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.